I'm gonna change the stream information now. But first I need to know which part I'm at for Ace Attorney. Mario Kart, yes. I'm not good at Mario Kart. Okay. Let me... I got viewers on I don't have any viewers on YouTube, so I could safely just remake the stream. I could end stream. Okay, this is gonna be... I'm gonna end stream on YouTube, and then I'm gonna restart with Ace Attorney instead. Why did OBS just froze? Oh no. OBS froze. I don't know what to do now that OBS is frozen. Okay. Okay, it's no longer frozen. Okay, let me end stream on YouTube. Just restart it. I don't know what part I'm at on Ace Attorney. I might be on part 16. But if the game wasn't fun, I'm sorry too. It's just I like to play story focused games, so anything outside of that is pretty boring to me. We're at least getting some more Ace Attorney in though. Part 16. To put that in the redeem text? Okay. I'll put it in the redeem text that I prefer RPGs and stuff, so... No, oh my god, no. 650? Yes, 650. You can have your honk shoes refunded. Here you go. There, they're refunded. Part 16. Turnabout for the Ages. Part 3. Let me change the Ace Attorney there. Okay, now I can go live on YouTube again. OBS froze. I probably would have had the same reaction if I was playing Fallout New Vegas, to be honest. Have I played Portal yet? No, but I do have it. Ace Attorney Collection. Okay, now I need to tell everyone that I'm playing a different game. I'm sorry. Looks like you're gonna have to go, huh? Why did I get 12 notifications? Oh, because of my minor crash out? let's see how far we get. Okay, let me continue. Okay, we're gonna get a little breakdown of what happened so far, because that's where I stopped the stream. 12 years ago, the real President Wong visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son. Could stay for a bit. It's not like 500 megabytes is gonna last for anything. Okay. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown seem likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Canis. That's so sad! He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to... Indeed. But at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Mr. Aldown's murder! Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point... Oh, the body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators walked right up behind Mr. Aldown, leading to our unfortunate eyewitness being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. Was it the body double who moved Mr. Aldown's body too? Yes, I think it probably was. Dang, you missed Most Wanted. I'm sorry. I got bored. But Ace Attorney's really fun, so if you want to stick around for Ace Attorney, I would love that. But none of the footprints could have been his, could they? Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. Which shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. Blue truck? Why do I still have that? The fire? No. Or maybe it was the fire. Or maybe it's the victim's shoes.
Take that!
What if the president's double moved Mr. Aldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Aldown, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes. Meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president... Dang, Most Wanted bored you? My childhood. I'm not fond of racing games, so it was eventually going to bore me. Of course! His would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down? I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is? What? Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Aldown had seen the president at the orphanage, and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true. Fair, if any game had a fair shot, it would be Most Wanted. It's peak Need for Speed. Disappointed me too. I'm sorry. After all that effort too, you modded in custom tracks? By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw. Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi LaGuard. He's the one in the trench coat? How can you be so sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. Now you can listen to Chemical Brothers / Prodigy 24/7 while going unenjoyably fast. I played the Pepega mod. That's a fun mod. Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers. The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer. Yes. They were about a size 9. Too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden LaGuard. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination. It does! Which means my father must have. The soundtrack has no right to go as hard as it does. I gotta drink some water. I started this stream at 5:15. So the ad break is probably gonna start up around that time too. He must have? Notice, there's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No, he appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wong was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Shang Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally coming to light at last. Is it indeed? Intriguing. Huh? What? Who's there? Is this Shelly the killer? That sound, is that a bell? Is it Canis? Oh yeah, it's him! Bodhidharma Canis! What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem?
Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having.
The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wong!
I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say.
Someone you're looking for, I suppose?
Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary. To find a certain young pup.
Shit, stream froze GG's for my internet. I have a backup Wi-Fi. I'll see if it works still. Aww. Hopefully it'll work.
A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat.
What?
Wait, you know who they are? In a manner of speaking, what did you call them again? A secret mastermind?
It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat?
The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmet?
Yes, he does.
The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, you know, 12 long years ago.
And my unexpected savior.
As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wong. That meant that I too became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner, LaGuard, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now.
So it was the president's body double who hired you?
I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday.
You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't be just as good as him?
There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes.
You, of course I do. I'm the leader now, me.
Seems the king and his knight were much the same. The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness, a young woman named Amelie. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals such as Chairman Winter. Once Miss Ben had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap. The meeting she arranged so the president could meet her son. That would have been the perfect opportunity. Indeed, and with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. Warden LeGuard. Now, quid pro quo. Where might I find the pup?
What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same?
He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage. Thank you for the lurk. Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of a prank, right? A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. It works, kinda. I'm watching on 160p. It sometimes stream freezes, but that's better than nothing. Oh, that's unfortunate, though. No, as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winter and LeGuard carrying away a dead body.
Pretty traumatic.
He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And being a very considerate boy, got to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seems he had a little kerosene set aside in the igloo for just such an occasion. So he spread it liberally about the place and set himself a little fire. No, wait! So that's what the fire was for? It must have been ever so beautiful. Winter and LeGuard were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance.
You never answered my question. Do you really think he's the one behind all this?
I do indeed.
Don't I, Helmet? Yes, yes I do. Rebuttal.
As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wong.
Hold it!
You were pretty forthcoming with that particular admission.
If I'm honest, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm tired of all the killing. But back then, I felt that death was my path. I embraced it and strove to learn what it had to teach. I made my peace with that, and I am happy to admit it.
Aren't I, boy? Yes, yes I am.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I definitely don't like the sound of it.
Basically, he thought nothing of murdering the president. And not only is he an assassin, he's now a prison escapee. Not someone to be trifled with. But we can't afford for him not to talk. I'll need to tread as carefully as I can. Very well, you killed the president, and you're happy to admit it.
Oh, very much so. I wouldn't want you thinking that I drew my blade and missed. But that meant that I too became an inconvenience in need of removal.
Hold it!
You, a target? But you're an assassin.
Sometimes the hunter must become the hunted.
Sometimes the living must become the dead. Please, Kay, don't feel the need to add a proverb of your own. I'm tired of all the killing says, no killer ever.
Impermanence is inherent to the way of the assassin. Life takers' lives are taken, so it goes. Wait, does that mean the people you're sent to kill sometimes try to kill you back? Or, it happens, occasionally, but it is not what happened this time. The imposter president, Winter LeGuard, all three were keen to guarantee my silence.
Hold it!
But Mr. Canis, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor inconvenience?
You overestimate me, Edgeworth.
Hi, Univerism. We switched to Ace Attorney.
You seem to forget that without Helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments.
I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault?
We're not hugely fond of such situations, shall we say. I certainly wouldn't have liked my chances. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might even have succeeded.
Hold it!
Again? So the two of you had met before?
Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve, 18 years back. That long ago? But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing more than it had in years, and cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. And inside I found two young boys, shivering and semi-conscious. Two? Yes, and had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would never have made it.
I recognize these two, but from where? Somewhere in the game. I don't have like I recognize these two. I forget where I've seen them from in the game.
I took them both to a nearby orphanage.
Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? There is. What is it about Candace's statement that's especially noteworthy? The date, maybe? This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago? You're certain of that?
I am.
Holy smokes! We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Which piece of evidence relates to the date on which Mr. Candace found the children? 12 years ago. 12-year hiatus. Torsaurs versus 40. Years ago. We have the IS-7 incident report. Oh, it must have been from the IS-7 incident. December 24th, 18 years ago. Okay, I barely remember this. Okay, it was this.
Take that!
That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor.
No way!
An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing.
Oh, yeah!
The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh?
Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would have made sense.
It would?
One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see. It must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition.
Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning.
So that was what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details.
They weren't?
No, when we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them, and the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. They weren't even able to remember their names.
Wow, so they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids? If what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next?
By all means.
The pup and I.
The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then, I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things.
People from 12 years ago? You mean LaGuard, Winner, and the President, I assume?
Well, Warden LaGuard was in charge of the prison where he was an inmate this whole time, right? I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then, she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. Because you murdered President Wong, but they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for LaGuard and Chairman Winter, too. Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night.
I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's what we'll be. Goodbye. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody.
I know you are, President Wong. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case means you.
No. Wait. This is my first chance to meet him. And it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer.
I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said, and shook his head. Neither was I, but the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I've even prepared something in case the worst comes to the worst. And the son in question? It was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct? Horns? You can see them? I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize. So the president meant to tell the world about Sean, and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Candace's word on the matter. Of course!
We have something that proves what he's telling us the president said is true. The will. A will everybody knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us, after all.
The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden LaGuard to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time, and Sean's true identity with it. President Wong was more agile than I anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece I'd broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit its mark. So it was Candace who tore the horn off of the Torosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup.
Rebuttal.
The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison.
Hold it!
So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via a post office box. What's that?
It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address.
I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By Warden LaGuard, no doubt. What were the two of you even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That, and griping about our respective lots in life. Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play that with...
As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Candace's chess opponent was...
Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight!
We found a diagram of the game in his cell, too. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all that IS-7 business?
Wait, that be it?
Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? Do we? I don't know. We have Knight's possessions. A pocket chess set and a ring. We also have the report on Knight. Maybe it's the pocket chess set and ring? Maybe the ring is a stamp? I don't know. It could be.
Take that!
This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring? The ring!
What about it, Mr. Edward?
Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it if you could. That design. That's Paula Leake's trademark. Mark.
Indeed, it looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work with into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident?
They tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember rightly, only old Frosty Boy didn't have any family aside from his kid.
It starts in 1 minute.
And the kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not till later, anyhow.
I love when I take a deep breath and my whole upper body feels pain. Oh, I love that too.
I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods.
Including the seal, it would seem, which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son?
The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing it over.
And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right?
Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight?
Objection!
Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case?
Far out. So our only candidate for Genius Mastermind is the guy who already kicked the bucket?
Be right back. Are we still in middle? We're still in middle. By the end of the stream, we should be at end. In the meantime, I'll be right back.
I'm back. Does Brave Browser hide ads? Because I don't see any ad right now. It does. It has an ad blocker built into it, I'm pretty sure.
That's impossible! How can a dead guy be behind all this?
It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be?
But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry.
Hold it!
He stopped responding? That seems strange.
I'm glad you agree. Helmet did too, of course. That big scary mutt really said that?
What, like, whoop whoop, that's barking mad? It's turned off for Twitch, though? Oh, okay.
He does not need to talk in order for me to hear him, my dear. He doesn't? Okay, well then let me ask you something. That look he's giving me, the super intense, kind of scary glare?
I think let me see what I can do. Okay.
He's not trying to say he's hungry, is he? He might be. He might be? Mr. Hedgeworth, help!
He really isn't fond of Candace's pet, it seems.
Yes, there's a good boy. Now, where was I? Of course, I suddenly stopped hearing from the pup. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place.
Hold it!
It does all seem like a little too much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who was pretending to be President Wong after all these years. Warden LaGuard murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. And Excelsius Winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seemed at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents.
Yes, even from behind bars, it was rather obvious that something strange was going on. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things.
Hold it!
You thought you'd temporarily regain your freedom? Would you be any more brazen?
Yeah, even a thief would struggle to get away with something like, I thought I'd temporarily steal it. You're not. Nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Leave it at... No way, pal. You escaped. I ought to arrest you right now.
There'll be no need for that, detective. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll return home to my cell.
Are you serious? Prison isn't supposed to be some place you can just stroll in and out of when you please.
Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in to try and dig into my past only recently?
You...
Agent Long, Detective Gumshoe. I need to be able to question Mr. Candace further. Could you both try to remain calm for now?
Sure thing, sir. Kinda knew you were gonna say that. Fine. But I'm not taking my eyes off of Dogman. Not even for a second, you hear?
I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille.
Hold it!
In Braille? That's how you wrote all of them?
That's right. I have the tools to do so in my cell. Ah, so you have to use special tools? Never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense.
And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, this and that. General chit-chat. And chess moves, of course.
You wrote the chess moves in Braille, too? That's interesting.
Speaking of chess moves, how does that piece you carved yourself move?
The dog? Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letter stopped.
I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where you might have gone. Okay, Nope, I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's this pup he keeps talking about?
True indeed. It seems that not even Mr. Candace knows his true identity. So we should focus on what we do know, that there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in how that connection was maintained. You think you fixed it? Okay. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. Braille. Do I have anything that's in Braille? Got no clue. You said that you wrote all of your letters in Braille, is that correct?
I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you?
That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all.
Really? But surely that's impossible.
How so exactly?
Maybe someone typed Mr. Canis's letters out on purpose?
Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them?
No then...
Mr. Canis says he wrote his letters in Braille, and yet, the letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille at all. This suggests that there must be a third party who typed Mr. Canis's letters out. Guess it could have worked the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille?
They could indeed.
I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Mr. Canis, the answers you received.
They were written in Braille too, yes.
So some mysterious middle person really was retyping the Bronxter's missives?
And that same person might well be our secret string puller.
Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight, son of Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he? And where is he? If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be. I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me.
Him?
But surely not.
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet.
Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is.
What? Who? You have to tell us.
I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. The person we've been looking for is... He would have been 18 years ago. So it's not him. Eustace was not born then. He's not Fifi Lagord, of course. Abby would have been 2 years old, not old enough. Indian Saints would have been 6 years old. Will Powers would have been 7. Wow, he's only 25? Celsius Winter, no. Bronco Knight. Billy the Killer, maybe? Deceased, Alf Alldown. Maybe it's Shelly the Killer. I can't see anybody else. Not even the crew member. She doesn't even get a name. Oh, never mind. Her name is Penny Nichols. But she's been identified as crew member. Okay, the only other person besides Alf Alldown. Kelly the Killer?
Take that!
No, wait! They're the one behind all this? But if I think back over everything that's happened, it doesn't seem to fit at all.
Of course it doesn't. Because they're not in fact the one who was behind all of this.
What? Which one is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Make up your mind!
I have to think about this more carefully. Knight was Frost's son, which means Gusto's son would have to be...
Bronco is his best friend in the whole world! His only friend!
There's only one person it can be. Wait, Simeon? It was... Okay, it was Simeon then.
Take that!
It has to be. The person behind all this. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged McKay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building.
It was the monster. What? Did you really just say what I thought you said?
Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right! The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Miss Lloyd, could I ask a favor? Who little me? What kind of favor? You told us you recorded the sound of Torsaurus breathing fire. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recorder, perhaps? YouTube chat fix? Yeah, I fixed it the other day. I think yesterday I fixed it. So it works. Ooh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of that big old beastie breathing fire. Is that what I captured?
Sure did. Like I said, I didn't precisely see the guy, but boy did I hear him.
Can we listen to the tape?
You surely can.
Let's see now. That's it. That sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this, is all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not?
Yep. Snap me a picture of it too. Even if you can't really see it so well.
We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe!
Hello, Kiki Bean.
Yes, sir. Your image analyzer. Can we borrow it again? Sure, but what do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha, I'm on it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it. What is that?
Eureka!
That's...
See, I done told y'all, Torsaurus is his own dang self.
Yes, there it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster?
You're finally ready to admit it? That he's dang well real? The big bad bull himself?
Objection!
No, because that isn't Torsaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this if you would.
The very big circus flyer? Oh! Wait, look!
You see it? The enormous lion balloon? That's the real monster. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire? Oh, come on. You're really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that? That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air? They do. And our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator.
So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus?
Circus worker. Friend of the Bronxster. Son of Gusto. Whoa. You're not serious. You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right, Simeon Saint is the one behind all this.
Simeon? But everything... Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible.
I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that?
Wait, where do you think you're going, old man? Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done.
What? No! Mr. Canis, wait! Oh, the dog. Damn it, he disappeared.
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't worry, I'm fine. But... Damn you! Are you alright, Sean? He killed my dad! He did, right? There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did.
He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. Somehow, some way.
Overruled.
No, Sean. Oh, no, Sean. You mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both. I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Canis. I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we'd better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind?
I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. Before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Long.
There is? What?
Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping.
Yes, sir.
I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth. Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Regina, maybe? Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it. But I'm going to put things right once and for all. To be continued. We have an hour left, though. Are we at end yet? We're at ladder, not end. Okay. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Very big circus. Big top. Oop, I go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. Good night, Mel. Was fun watching. Thank you for sticking around. Good night. Hope you sleep well. Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
Did you guys come to watch the show?
Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint.
You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. But I'm glad you kept your promise.
Yes, I remembered you giving me this.
That's so great! You're going to have so much fun. I think even you'll be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh. I think you've surprised me enough for one day already. What are you talking about? Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry? That's the eye painted on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct? Oh, yeah. What is this exactly? I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for. You do? Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, that would be Simeon. Oh, wait, you don't mean... Mr. Saint? You took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you?
Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put in some extra hours. At night, when it would have been even more difficult than usual. A strange time to decide to practice. But why else would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying?
That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious Kay to the top of the big building. In order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gone there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you. Hi, Dome! Thank you for the lurk!
But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand.
That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I'd never, ever, ever do anything like that.
I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed.
That's horrible. Why would you say that? You told me back at the jail. You said you believed I was innocent.
You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. You know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club, after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we will believe you, and we will get you out of here.
This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me.
We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon,
You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much.
I'm Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person.
Objection!
I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody. You root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch manipulator behind all our recent troubles. I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention. Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine. Beloved by animals. He's like a Disney princess. Well done, all of you. Well, this is certainly a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you.
Simeon, this can't be true, can it?
Truth lies. What does it matter?
Huh?
All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here has made me very mad indeed. And now, he's going to pay. I was just out practicing. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often? Yeah, promoting the circus, like I said. Is that true, Miss Berry?
Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word. I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now.
Well, that same balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Nonsense! I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was floating past the big building, that's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happened to be nearby, thank you very much. Rebuttal. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing.
Hold it!
This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few hundred pounds. It's kind of impressive that it can even get off of the ground now that I think about it. I'd prefer if you didn't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Jeez. We use a truck, okay? You just load it on the back and away you go. A truck, you say? Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be very important. I better keep it in mind. The last time I took the balloon out on the truck would have been then, the day before last.
Hold it!
So just to confirm, the truck hasn't been anywhere else since then?
Why would you need to confirm that? I just told you, didn't I? Answer the question, or are you trying to avoid this one too? Oh ho ho! That was a cheap shot even for you. If I say something, you don't need to confirm it, because I just said it. See how that works? But since you insist, the truck's been parked out back since the day before last. And the balloon was still loaded on the back, basket and all. Now explain to me why that even matters. Not right now. I think I'll just thank you for giving me a straight answer for once and leave it there. So if you mean to insist that the truck has been parked here since 2 days ago? I think you might have let more slip there than you realized, Mr. Saint. Are you done? Alright, as I was saying, I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building.
Hold it!
So you're saying you just happened to fly past somebody with a camera too? Oh, I get it. I'm starting to understand how you think, Miles. Next you'll say something like, there's no way that was a coincidence, right? And it's down the slippery slope to there's no such thing as coincidences. No, there's a scary thought.
That's not what Mr. Edgeworth was saying at all. Why can't you just...
Don't play into his hands, Kay. He's deliberately trying to frustrate us. He's hoping that by needling us, he'll be able to avoid the question. And why do you think he'd be trying to do that?
Because he's a clown? No, because he's got something to hide?
Precisely. So we can't let up. We have to stay on the offensive. But we have to remain calm while doing so.
Gotcha! Hey Simeon, this highly capable prosecutor's assistant has a question for you. Are you trying to tell us you just happened to fly past the big building?
He's right, you know. I wasn't going to answer. You're so bad at this, Kay, I guess I'd better throw you a bone. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time.
Hold it!
You're in charge of both the promotional work the balloon is used for and the balloon itself. Is that correct? You don't believe a word I say, do you? But it's true. Ask the boss. Right, boss?
Yep, Simeon's in charge of keeping it clean and making sure it's all working properly and everything. I don't think anybody ever even touches it except for him. Not lately, anyhow.
Interesting. I think we could safely say he was in the balloon when it was photographed the other night. But if he's our mastermind, there are parts of his plan he would have to carry out today, too. Perhaps we need to dig into those a little more. Why the big silence? It's not like this is tricky stuff to process. It was a balloon, it was flying through the sky like balloons do. End of story. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all.
Hold it!
Is that so? Not only were you flying at night, multiple crimes were committed on that same evening. And you expect me to believe that there's nothing to see, as you put it? Are you trying to provoke me, Miles? Not very nice, you know, starting fights with people. I'm a clown. We're all about smiles, not frowns. He's certainly skilled at steering the conversation away from the topic at hand. But that's not going to help him. I just have to stay on the attack. We don't know a whole lot about this balloon just yet. I think we should try and learn a little more about it.
Objection!
This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh? What if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today, one with a large basket loaded on the back. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not having moved in 2 days is a lie. Agent Long, Emma.
There you are, Mr. Edgeworth. At last. I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away.
And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded onto a truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck. Well, well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. Can I look at it? No, not really.
Objection!
What, just because it's blue? Like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's the exact same one?
No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure.
Objection!
Huh? What's the matter, Miss Edgeworth?
That wasn't me. Worthless are the words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Show me! I demand proof. I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it.
Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth?
Why are you touching the truck? The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while.
No way! You can tell just from that?
What can I use to prove it's the same truck? Luminol testing? Would there have been blood on the truck? Fingerprint dusting? That would just prove that he actually touched it. Oh, he touched. Edgeworth touched the engine. The truck. So his fingerprints would be on it. I'd like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints. Well, why would you want to do that? Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. And if I do, that will prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. These prints will prove it was the truck we saw. Yours? You think you're going to find your own prints on there?
I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time? That's why I'm here. One moment, please. Alrighty. Take it away, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? Me? Of course. Who else did you think was going to do it? Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how.
Fine, although I don't see why you can't do it yourself.
So just spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints, like this.
Moving the cursor around and pressing A will allow me to dust the area with powder.
It sticks to fingerprints, so once you've found one, make sure to dump plenty on there, and then blow away the excess.
Blow it away?
Yeah, with your mouth. Ha! Like that.
Blowing with Y should remove any excess powder.
Alright, you got all that?
Yes, thank you. Now to try it for real.
Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy.
I got a fingerprint.
That's it. That's a nice clean print you got there.
Can we compare it to my prints right away?
Yep, leave it to me. That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, all right.
And with that, another lie is exposed. Nark! So what were you doing in the truck? Oh, just driving around. For fun, you know.
Objection!
Paige was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage. And your truck was sighted nearby.
Objection!
Coincidence. Nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of 2 separate abductions simply by chance? Let's be honest, you were involved in both. What makes you think they weren't even connected?
Objection!
A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what.
Oh, this should be good.
What connects Kay and Sean's abductions?
I mean, the 3 Z's is definitely something. Maybe this is the answer?
Take that!
Kay was drugged with a dose of a powerful sedative, and a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand, no less.
Objection!
Huh, I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used. So what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do, that doesn't prove anything for sure.
Yeah! We must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can tie him to both crimes.
Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles, you're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime or you flat out make it up, just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tamper we've had the misfortune of meeting.
Objection!
No! I'm nothing like him!
Objection!
Then show me. Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right?
It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings.
Okay. You about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire? Great. Well, I have a show to be rehearsing for. So if you don't mind.
Objection!
Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want your good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal? What are you sticking your nose in for? Hey, I just sensed the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I ought to lighten the mood. Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the old great thief magic.
You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see. If I can do Simeon's voice, here goes.
Objection! What are you... Take this seriously, will you? thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, Milester. Not the most ethical approach I know, but again, Kay, again.
We can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests that he is our mastermind? Of course! Candace was looking for a secret string puller too. The young pup, as he called them. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was that same young pup, then perhaps... But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes? We have the forged letter. Maybe it's this? The forged letter? This letter was sent by our mysterious mastermind, I'm sure of that. But I just don't have enough to prove it yet.
Let's see. Okay, guess we could maybe sing a song? Come on, at least try to hide the fact that you're playing for time. Ugh, amateurs.
Oh!
I love to sing. Won't you sing with me? We'll sing and be merry and happy and free. That voice is giving me goosebumps, and not in a good way. Stop! Stop!
This isn't going to buy us much time. I have to hurry. There must be another piece of evidence that ties Mr. Saint to this case. But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes? Maybe the bouquet of lion lilies? No, that was given by Judge Gabelle. I wonder, what is it? I don't know. I might have to just pick at random. So if it wasn't the letter...
Take that!
This is it! This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're involved in this case.
Huh. Well, I can't say I'm not intrigued. Alright, join the dots for me.
With pleasure. Now, if you look here and then hold it like this... Oh no! No! Mr. Archworth, that's all wrong! Totally wrong! Yo! You didn't have to join in, Kay. There has to be something. It's here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Something that proves the link between our current case and the secret string puller. But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes?
I have no clue.
Take that!
Okay, so it wasn't the plushie, it wasn't the combination lock. I can't use the forged letter. Maybe the correspondence chest thing?
Take that!
I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. And that same person might well be our secret string puller. That's right! Our mastermind was involved in Candace and Knight's correspondence chess exchanges. If I can prove that Mr. Saint was the hidden intermediary between the two of them...
Alright, that's enough. It's getting painful. You don't have anything and I have to practice for the show. So if you don't mind...
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Pender. I can take it from here. And I can't take any more of your interventions.
Ooh, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Miles Arena's back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon the funny clown. Look at me, I'm juggling.
Hey, you can stop now. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it?
Huh? Where did that come from? Yes, sure, I don't hate it.
Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis.
Objection!
I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind?
Objection!
No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Knight's death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted themselves between Mr. Canis and Knight.
And you think that person was me? Why would I go through all that trouble? That's crazy.
To make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that led Fifi LaGuard to murder him. What? You're saying he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed?
Objection!
Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? You've seen me. I can barely even get the animals to do what I want.
If we could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. I believe we might find...
Objection!
Letters? You won't. Trust me.
What?
Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash. Because I'm not the sentimental type. I get hung up on the past, right?
Ha! He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks.
Guess you went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh? That's a bad habit, you know.
But this doesn't prove anything either. We're falling short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options?
You accuse me of betraying my friends, and you don't even have any proof? You're despicable.
Who was that? Oh, hi. Miss Berry? What does she want? Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person, you mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend? Yes, what of it? Does she know something? A letter came from him this morning. For Simeon.
What, did you?
How was that possible? Knight is dead. Miss Berry, we need to see this letter right away. Sure, here you go. Let's open it up, shall we? It's another correspondence chess letter. The next move from the gang with Mr. Canis.
Can anybody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you are never going to beat me, not at chess.
It's postmarked the 26th of March, the day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route. Well, we do move around a lot. It's part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time.
Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint. Gah! He's holding bunnies by their ears.
This is it, isn't it? The proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Canis and Knight's games. One of the letters you would have transcribed into Braille in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected.
Curse you, Bronco! You're still getting in my way even now! I hate you! I hate you!
Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend!
Ha! We weren't friends. I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago.
Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words.
I nearly froze to death because of him. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest, but then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary.
Stop it, Bronco, stop it! I have to go meet my dad, I promised! If I'm not there to taste his candy for him, he'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world.
But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. And that's how how I lost my dad.
What? You lost your dad?
Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer.
What does he mean? It doesn't match up with what we know at all.
Simeon, the victim in the IS-7 incident was a guy named Artie Frost. Yeah, that was my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day, but what little I remembered was pretty mixed up. So I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered.
The murderer was a man named Carmelo Guster, a confectioner.
Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name, or maybe I chose not to remember. Ugh, just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach.
Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now?
Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have reported him to the police straight away. All I knew was that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father murder mine. He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserved to die.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one.
A mistake? What do you mean?
Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Alik.
So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could.
Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't, because he wasn't your father.
Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny. Not at all.
You're right, it's not, but you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son.
Take that!
What are you talking about?
You don't see it? The part that proves there's no link between you and Frost at all?
Objection!
I don't, because it's not there. Whatever that is, it doesn't prove anything. Sorry, but you've completely lost me this time, Miles.
No! I got that wrong.
Easy, kiddo. Just take a big boy breath and think about it. Who was Artie Frost's son? Pull up that little nugget from the memory banks and you'll be halfway to solving this already.
Frost's real son.
Alright, Miles, I think we need to wrap up the comedy portion of this show before he gets old. Artie Frost is my father, no joke, and you can't prove otherwise.
And yet it's completely impossible. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son.
I must have done this, actually.
Take that!
Huh? Bronco's chess set? And a ring?
Yes, take a look at the ring for me if you would. What does the engraving on it tell you?
It's 2 letters, right?
It is. This is the seal with which Paul Alik used to mark his works. It was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago.
But why would Bronco have a memento of my father?
The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight.
What? But that's not... That would mean I was...
Precisely. That you are in fact the son of Carmelo Gusto.
No, that can't be! My dad was... I remember... When I... Bronco tied me up and locked me in that car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die, didn't he? No way. So I get to see your circus thing even though I'm in jail? Was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game. The show was just the icing on top. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I will. And hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. But you can take a look at it later. A little something? No idea what that might be, but thanks. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this. Huh? Did you say something? Me? Oh, it was nothing. Goodbye, Bronco. And farewell. I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why I tried to be like Candace. Why I stayed in touch with him all these years.
And there we have it. The truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Candace's correspondence chess partner. And you were the one manipulating events this whole time.
You're right. It was me. It was me all along.
At last, he's finally telling the truth.
I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago. But you knew that already.
The president's assassination, just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture.
And they knew it too.
That's why LaGuard kept questioning me, day in and day out.
It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would... bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there?
But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winter would have sent his men after you.
No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life I've been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of a prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of an entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to. Canis, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me.
That's quite a claim. Strange to think of our famously ruthless assassin winning the admiration of this child he saved.
He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself, and they all became my prey.
But I doubt even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police.
No, I sure didn't. As long as Winnow was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. LaGuard almost got away with it again. But I know him now like the back of my hand. I could see exactly how it was all going to go down.
So you saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winter would try to suppress the evidence in Warden LaGuard's trial. I see. And that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence or the rule of law.
Objection.
Maybe I did, but how else was I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago?
Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winter pulled one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in the hope of influencing the verdict. In other words, you chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently claim to hate.
Objection.
That's only if I'd actually kidnapped anyone at all. But I'd never do anything so wicked. Never ever. Me? Commit a crime? No. Besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun.
Objection!
So you admit it? Your motive in all of this was nothing more than revenge?
Sure, I admit it. You know what? I despise every single one of them. But here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most you can blame me for is writing the odd letter here and there. A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winter. Another to him so he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all on them. So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders? Right. Same thing at Gourd Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know. The whole fake assassination plot, I handed that to Bronco on a plate.
That was part of his plan too?
The Rook's murder was...
Objection!
No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing?
You can't talk like that about a murder.
Setting LaGuard up was easy, too. I just made it seem like Knight and Candace were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chest set.
So it was you who put it in there?
Yes, it was. I thought that might point everybody nicely in Candace's direction. It worked out pretty well, even if I do say so myself.
That starts in 1 minute.
Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got to where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive. And then, things get ugly quickly. I had a front row seat for the whole show! You were the last piece to put into play, of course.
Who? Me?
You solved both cases and finally brought down Winter and LaGuard. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to them both.
Objection!
I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You were just planning on being an attorney for a little while, right? What did you say? All I had to do was cower and say no a few times, and you rode to my rescue like the hero you are. Was getting arrested part of your plan, too? No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Okay, be right back.
Jonas is water just traded with 9 viewers.
You raided directly into an ad break. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me.
It's raining cats and dogs? Oh, it sure is.
Okay, hi everyone from the raid. Sorry, you raided into an ad break, Jonas. Thank you for the raid. I'm currently at the very end of the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Very, very end. We know who the mastermind is behind everything. It turned out to be Simeon Saint. Very sad. And he and Edward are having a bit of a intense back and forth. And hello Raiders, I'm Melody Wisp. I'm an accessibility provider. And I like to play RPGs and visual novels and stuff. In this case, it's a visual novel, and I'm doing all the voice acting for it. At the end, hell yeah, yeah! After I'm done with this game, I'm going to move on over to the 100-line Last Defense Academy. We were just doing my weekly steno stream. Awesome. My weekly steno stream is tomorrow. So you do Wednesdays and I do Thursdays? Interesting. Okay, let's get back into the game.
never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold, for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout to end all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation, my knight in shining armor. I bet it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. I don't do that for many people.
You're wrong! He wasn't playing at being an attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does.
Oh, I still have my ad break thing on? Thank you. Sometimes I forget to take it off. It's a good thing it wasn't covering the words. Right? Yeah, it wasn't covering the words, at least.
He helped me right when I needed it most.
Hey. Oh, did he? You're sure he wasn't just trying on his deer as a part of Daddy's shoes for size?
No, that's not what he was doing.
Come on, K-Meister. Don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting, plain and simple. Painting other folks with his own grubby brush. It's not just that he doesn't trust other people. The poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand. You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from, and yet... Ah, you can't prove I incited anything. Think about it. You gonna lurk for a bit while you make some food?
Okay, thank you for the lurk.
Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me. You think you can pin an incitement charge on me? Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. I leave my droplets in your trustworthy hands? Thank you. I appreciate the trust. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all.
That's not true! You kidnapped me!
Sorry, but did I miss the part where you proved that? All I ever admitted to was sending letters.
You!
Letters which didn't threaten, coerce, or encourage anybody to do anything. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information. Ah, he's a slippery one, I'll give him that.
There's gotta be something we can do. What about this? Excitement stuff he's talking about.
Incitement, Kay. It means to encourage or direct another person to commit a crime. In the eyes of the law, it's seen as equivalent to committing the crime itself.
But then we just need to prove that he told them to do it.
You say that like it's going to be easy. Guess maybe you're not so big on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can for murders I had nothing to do with? Think again. I don't even have to talk to you, if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you? I can think of one reason. The tent is surrounded. There's nowhere left to run. Really? You don't think I planned my escape too? What if, just to pluck an idea out of nowhere, I train all of these vicious wild beasts to attack on command, for example? All I'd have to do is say the word, then settle off stage in the chaos. What? You wouldn't. I'm just spitballing, but you'd pay to see that, wouldn't you? I could just as easily take Sean hostage with the gun I may or may not have in my pocket. Yeah, you know what? That would make for a killer show. You will do no such thing. It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go to. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to be prepared for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you. But once the curtain goes up on this little performance, it better be a lively one. For me, and we're done here. Alright, let's see if you can keep me entertained, shall we? Ah, he's not going to give me an inch. But there must be something we can do. We can't let his crimes go unpunished. Rebuttal. Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me.
Hold it!
You encouraged others to commit murder, and those murders were duly committed. And if I can prove it, you will be punished just as if you had done the deed yourself. Yeah. What was the word for it again? I forgot it already. Incitement, okay? Herman Winter, Warden LaGuard, and Bronco Knight. All were criminals in their own right, and all committed unforgivable acts. But all were induced to commit those acts by somebody behind the scenes. This man right here. Oh ho ho! Oh ho 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 ho! You really don't hold back, do you, Miles? But it doesn't change anything. You think you can pin an incitement charge on me? Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere.
Hold it!
Nowhere at all? What, you didn't look? I can give you a minute if you like.
He's clearly confident that I won't find anything.
He must have planned those letters down to the last word. Look, I don't want to teach you how to do your job, but if you can't prove I encouraged them to commit those murders, your incitement charge goes up in smoke. Too bad, so sad, huh, Miles? If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them.
Hold it!
I know for a fact that you made those murders happen. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made big, bad Chairman Winter kill little Miss Rosie Ringer. What? You told me yourself.
Objection!
Did I? And you can prove it? If you can't, this ends here. Just ask yourself, could this sweet, innocent boy have done the things you were saying? No. Sure, I hate to admit it, but he's right. Without proof, we have nowhere to go with this. If we could only prove what he said on that phone call. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all.
Hold it!
The same story as always? What do you mean by that? Like, does that matter? That's not important here. You know what is important, though? That you can prove nothing. Nothing! Ugh. Until we have some way of showing that he's guilty, we're just going to continue floundering. Either I thrust items of evidence in front of him and hope for the best, or I go over it all one more time. Whichever method I choose, proof is the only way we're going to get anywhere here. He confessed to me over the telephone. He told me he was the one who made Chairman Winter kill Rosie Ringer. I just need to find a piece of evidence that proves what was said on that call.
Objection!
Mr. Saint, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts your statement. I'm not sure it does. Any thoughts, Cavell? Me? Forgive me, Mr. Edgeworth. But I failed to see the connection, I'm afraid. Yuck! Could I really have gotten that wrong? Not even your friends agree with you, so sad. I could never do what you do, Mr. Genius Prosecutor. And for once, I'm glad about that.
Uh-oh, Simeon's enjoying this. You can't let him get the better of you.
And I won't. I'm nowhere near done yet. The next piece of evidence I present will shut him up once and for all. Is it the letter? It's the only thing relevant, I think, the letter.
Objection!
Okay, it wasn't that either.
Objection!
Damn. He's a slippery customer, Mazzarino. That's for dang certain. It's fine, Fender. I'm not about to give up. I was hoping you'd say something like that. Well, back to it. I'll be cheering you on from here. I'll bet you're about to drop a logic bomb that'll blow this case wide open.
I hope so. Either way, we'll get to the truth in the end.
Hold it!
Whoops, I did not mean to do that.
Objection! Objection!
Okay, I just lost. Damn. Maybe I should just look it up. Because I'm stuck. We're at the very end. Middle. Damn. Beginning. long as hell. And present Miss Lloyd's tape on the fourth statement. Okay, I'll do that. I won't read ahead. Okay, Miss Lloyd's tape. What does it say?
Objection!
I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant for at least one murder to happen, because you said so yourself. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winner kill little Miss Rosie Ringer. What? I said that? Weird, I don't remember. I know you think you can worm your way out of everything, but this time you're wrong. I am? Yes, because our conversation was being recorded by somebody intercepting the signal from the very listening device you planted. It was? You got your conversation with the clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us? No! Long G says, a schemer schemes will swallow him in the end. Miss Lloyd, could you play us the tape, please? You bet I can. Got it. It was this part right here. Mr. Edgeworth, that's just Gavel's cell phone. Who is this? You're the one who abducted Kay. I can't hear, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. It was right around here. I was as surprised as... Huh? That's weird. Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd? I'll say, seems we maybe, didn't quite catch the next part on tape. What? Why? How could it not be on there? Aw, poor babies. Do you think I'd leave myself wide open like that? Well, think again. There's something a little special about that bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely. What? I never knew they make those. Remote-controlled bugs? Sure, they exist, but... So you switched it off to avoid being recorded? How? You would have had to know you were being recorded in the first place.
Objection!
And I did. Of course I did. It was so obvious that someone was eavesdropping. And that's because Miss Lloyd wasn't... You knew about the kid prosecutor's kidnapping without any prompting. No. You heard that whole conversation? I did indeed, old pal. And I must say, I thought you would have figured it out much sooner. Aren't you supposed to be a genius prosecutor? Gurk! Now, where were we again? Oh yeah. At the part where if you couldn't prove incitement, it was game over. Oh well. Gnurk! Ah, shucks. So my tape ain't gonna be of no use to nobody after all? Come on. I must have recorded something you can use. If only that were true. Hey, K-Meister.
Yeah?
The old bugaroo. It was hidden in your pin that whole time, right? Shake anything loose from the old brain tree?
I don't know. Give me a sec to think.
You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before.
Objection!
So sad. Relying on flawed evidence. Desperately trying to make it stick. But that's quite enough of that for now. Next topic, please. Huh? He's trying to steer us away from our current line of inquiry. You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before. Kay had a one-to-one encounter with him only recently. What if the sound from that point in time had been recorded? Miss Lloyd, how long were you recording the intercepts from the bug for? Started about, let's see now, 2 nights back. In which case, during which time frame would we be likely to find Mr. Saint's voice on that tape? This morning? Last night. 2 nights ago. Okay, so he put the bug in the thing 2 nights ago when Kay had his encounter with him. So it's not that. Last night or this morning. Which is likely, last night or this morning? This morning, maybe? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from this morning. This morning, you say? Well, sure, I guess. Wait, didn't you have my pin this morning, Mr. Edgeworth? And weren't you in that detention cell? Wouldn't that mean the only voice that could be on there is yours? Damn, I forgot about that. How could I have forgotten that? Oh man, so my tape was no use after all? Dang it. Kay was kidnapped by our culprit. The bug might have recorded his voice then, which means it might still be on that tape. Okay, then last night? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from last night. Last night, you say? Well, sure, I guess. I believe my culprit's voice should be there somewhere. Monster? Weren't Kay and the bug with you last night? Are you trying to tell us you're the culprit? You're tying my brain in not to, big guy. Okay. It wasn't that either? So it was 2 nights ago, and I was completely wrong. Okay. 2 nights ago. Mr. Saint abducted Kay and took her up to the roof of the big building 2 nights ago. What if there was a recording from around that time? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from the night before last. Huh? Oh, sure thing. That's the sound of the balloon! Indeed it is. At around that time, I imagine Mr. Saint would have been transporting you in it. Which means he can't have been too far away from you, or the bug. Is there anything else on the recording, I wonder? Bang! Ka-chang! Wait! That noise! That was a gunshot. You turned the bug off then too, it seems. Unluckily for you, you were a little late in doing so. There's no escaping it now. That gunshot ties you directly to the case. Huh? What are you talking about? Nobody ever even mentioned a gun. He's wrong. Somebody involved with this case discharged a firearm. I just need to remember who it was and present a piece of evidence that proves it. Which piece of evidence shows that a gun was used in an incident related to the case? Didn't he have gunpowder residue? Gunshot residue detected on right hand.
Take that!
It's written right here in the president's autopsy report. Traces of gunshot residue were detected on his hands. Urgh. And where was Kay when the gunshot was recorded? That's right, she was in the balloon being taken by you to the top of the big building. However, the roof wasn't as deserted as you needed it to be. Yes, I was there with the president. Wait, not long after we started talking, he noticed something and told me to leave. And if a gunshot rang out shortly after that, don't tell me you didn't hear it yourself, Mr. Saint. Not when it sounds crystal clear in the recording. You're just going to pretend to ignore me? What else do you expect me to do when you keep spouting your weird theories?
Knuckle back!
We didn't just hear a gunshot on that tape. Bang! Ka-chang! If you listen carefully, you can hear that the bullet hit something too. Did the president have been aiming at Mr. Saint? What would the bullet have struck? Yeah, what would have it struck? Maybe it's the hot air balloon?
Take that!
I think the president was firing at the balloon. And if he was, what we heard on that tape could have been the bullets hitting the basket.
Let's take a look and see, shall we?
Let's look over the sides of the basket just in case.
Alright, I'll start from over here.
Hey, what are you doing just standing there? Help them too, will you? Yes, Shifu.
Nothing. How about over there?
This side's clean, not even a speck of dirt.
But I'm right about this. I know I am. I need to think about the sound it made when it hit. It sounded like something harder than the wicker part of the basket. Like metal, in fact. Oh, there's the bullet. A hole! With a bullet stuck in it!
There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the basket.
I'd call that pretty conclusive proof. Well, Mr. Saints, how do you explain not just the sound on the tape, but the accompanying bullet hole?
You see everything, don't you? It's pretty impressive, I have to admit. I doubt there's anything I could hide from you if you really wanted to find it. Just shut up and confess, will you? Alright. No need to get cranky.
What really happened 2 nights ago?
I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Gavel and the President were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the President noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired.
But why was he trying to shoot down the balloon?
Oh, that's simple enough. When I arrived, he was just about to murder your friend the judge here. Me? Yeah, you. You told him about Sean. What did you think would happen? Why do you think he met with you in the first place? He thought you were going to expose him as an imposter.
Because she knew the truth about Sean's parentage. He was afraid.
Huh, afraid. Yeah, you could say that. The man was a total coward. His hands were shaking so much when he tried to get rid of me, he couldn't even shoot straight. So you see, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was an innocent bystander.
Rebuttal.
I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived...
Hold it!
Around what time would that have been?
Just after 11, I think. That's when you and your pal went up to the roof, right, Your Honor? Yes, it was.
No contradictions there, but the fact that we've confirmed the time is important nonetheless.
In fact, because I arrived when I did, Judge Gavel and the President were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say.
Hold it!
So you didn't expect to find the two of them there?
Of course not! Why would I? It was luckily I got there when I did. We all know what would have happened if I'd been any later. I was just about to try and kill you, Gavel. You didn't suspect a thing? I'm afraid I did not. I had no idea. Maybe you shouldn't have blabbed to him about the kid. Did you ever think about that? That I was merely trying to... What kind of mother are you? You're lucky he didn't kill you, then go after the boy.
Objection!
I'm your opponent here, not Judge Gavel. Now leave her alone and tell us what we need to know. Don't worry, Your Honor. I'll take it from here.
I am in your debt, Mr. Edgeworth. As is Sean. I trust that you will look after us both. And I pray that the goddess of justice will watch over us all. Your precious goddess didn't even warn you there was a balloon right behind you. Only the President noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away.
Hold it!
He made her leave? But why? Wasn't he planning to kill her?
Sure, but I'll bet he didn't want to do it in front of witnesses. Murderers don't tend to like that. He still didn't know he was the real president, right? His secret was safe for the time being. And now that he knew about Sean, he could kill both of them whenever he wanted. He took out lucky when he died, huh? With a frown. I'd be smiley from ear to ear if I were you.
I don't think anybody will be smiling until this matter has been cleared up once and for all. So please, continue if you would.
Your wish is my command. Where were we? Oh yeah, that coward of a fake president. I guess a witness suddenly appearing in the sky must have shaken him up pretty badly and he panicked. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired.
Hold it!
You're lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket.
Yeah, I tried to get out of there the second he pulled out the gun. Then have my balloon going pop. But it was a close run thing.
So you left right then and there?
Of course I did. He was shooting at me. Are you saying there's a problem with that?
Is that person a problem? In the end, you managed to leave Kay there up on that rooftop. Which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you?
Oh yeah? Guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. I hung around a little longer to make sure the coast was clear. Then I landed on the roof.
Would you mind appending that statement to your testimony?
Makes no difference to me. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor.
Hold it!
The hatch that leads to the storeroom where the items from the underground auction were kept?
The auction? My memories are still a bit fuzzy, but the auction was 2 days ago, right?
Indeed, the auction was being held on the 50th floor that day.
And a bunch of people were going in and out of that storeroom while it was happening, yes?
They were, which means that if the president really did escape that way, as Mr. Saint says, somebody must have seen him. There's no way he could have passed through there unnoticed. The problem is the time at which each event occurred. But should the times line up, I can think of a certain piece of evidence that could prove helpful to our case. So his story is that he just happened to witness the events on the roof from the balloon.
If Simeon hadn't come along when he did,
Jezebel might have been in serious trouble.
so he's basically her savior, right?
I don't think it's quite that simple. After all, he was there to commit a crime too. But in order to expose that crime, we'll need to go over his testimony in detail. There must be a hole in it somewhere. Maybe it's this? Could be that. The big building. Shows President Wong and Judge Gavelle arriving on the roof of the big building. There's no footage of the president riding the elevator down to leave. I mean, that would prove this statement to be true. The security camera footage. I think we would be proving that he shouldn't have known this information. Because why would he? He shouldn't know that there was a 51st floor. But of course it could have been on the news. Because it happened 2 nights ago. Okay, it wasn't that. Doesn't contradict anything. Maybe big building? No, it wasn't big building. Objection. He's a slippery customer, Miles Arena, that's for dang certain. Wasn't that at approximately 11 p.m. I wonder. There.
Objection!
You didn't see the president pass through. You're lying to us again. I am.
The president never entered the storeroom the night before last. Miss Hart testified to that fact.
What? And you believe the word of a 2-bit hack over mine?
I beg your gosh dang pardon? Say that about the chief again, I dare ya. I'll wipe that smile right off of your stupid clown face.
So we know Hart was camped out on the 51st floor that entire evening. But if our fake president didn't escape through there, then how the heck did he get off the roof?
An excellent question, and one that I hope to provide the answer to next. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither that nor the hatch are possibilities. Which leaves only one possible way of escaping that rooftop. The air balloon? How did the president leave the rooftop if it wasn't via the elevator or the hatch?
Take that!
He flew.
He...
Blue? Yes, in Mr. Saint's balloon.
Objection!
Whoa, 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 whoa! Quit fooling around, will you? Why in the world would I give that guy a lift in my balloon?
Objection!
There was a security camera on the elevator, and Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left that rooftop.
Objection!
You know what the circus is all about? Making the audience think you're in danger. Giving them a thrill. But it's time to bring this act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am.
What do you mean?
Watch and learn. Miss Hart, can I ask you something? You were keeping guard on the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment?
You bet your big toe I was. I don't say as much in my testimony.
Objection!
The noise, the sound of Miles' faithful assistant falling through the hatch. That didn't scare you so badly that you fainted?
So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened?
That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of cake crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Well, so what if it did? And a girl in the world don't get caught a little unaware sometimes.
Sorry, Miles, but that's what you get for putting your faith in these people.
Objection!
It doesn't matter. Kate can't have fallen down the hatch until after the president left the roof.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter theory. The coward fake president fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down that hatch.
So what if he did? What would that mean?
Objection!
Come now, surely even you can see what I'm insinuating here. It's elementary. If the president hit until after Miss Hart fainted, he could have passed right through the 51st floor undetected.
No!
And there we have it. Your little theory about the secret storeroom falls apart.
No! Did you have to do that to me in my own voice?
That's right. Oh, and another thing. I might have left Sean's identity slip to our pal the president while he was hiding in the shadows. That's why he went to the set to try and murder him the next day, only to wind up being killed himself. That's right, it was Sean who murdered the body double.
Objection!
What possible reason could the boy have for doing so?
Objection!
Oh, pretty good one. He already knew he was the president's son.
And how did he discover that exactly?
Because I told him. In one of my trademark letters.
What?
He's lying. Oh, you bet I am!
Huh?
Or am I? Maybe I did tell him. Maybe I didn't. Well, Shawnee boy, which is it? It was my fault that Dora's head fell off that roof. I admitted that much already. But I didn't find out about my dad until today. I swear. Huh. Well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug, but who knew it was you who made it fall? And the president died from being crushed, was it?
Ugh.
Alright, well that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge. That ties everything up pretty neatly, wouldn't you say? Although I guess you'd say something more like,
until the pieces fall into place at last. Well, counter my unassailable logic if you can. The murder of the so-called president.
you know my MO by now, right? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there. That was the case with Bronco, with the determined winner. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought I was crushed to death by that model monster head. And who said old poor Source's not gonna fall in him? It all makes perfect sense. That's how our imposter wound up dead, no doubt about it. And what was the motive behind the murder? The little truth I shared, just like I said. Get it? The truth. That thing you're so fond of? That's what caused the murder here, not me. No, that's not possible. Well, is there a detective in the house? Somebody arrest that boy. Can't help noticing nobody rushing to slap on the handcuffs. What's the matter? Grr. Curse you. Just as I thought. Admit it. You're all the same. You, Winner, that idiot phony president. You want the real culprit to go free so you can railroad me into a jail cell, don't you? That's the justice you all claim to love so much. You only love it when you can twist it to suit your needs.
Overruled.
That's not true.
Objection.
Well, if you're not going to make the move, guess I'll have to step outside and speak to an officer myself. Once I tell them the kid here's a murderer, maybe then they'll finally do something.
Objection.
We're not done with your testimony yet, Mr. Saint.
How did I know you'd make some excuse for stalling even longer? But you still don't have any proof, do you? Or any chance of winning this? Tell me I'm wrong, and yet you still want to prolong the agony? Well, as long as you know what you're doing. He's not holding back. What? Did you forget that little Shawnee's life is on the line too? Hey, Miles Areno. Take a deep breath for me, would you? Why would I do that, Fender? Because it's times like these, you need to kick back, take stock, and be grateful for what you have. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles, remember? The way in which the president made his escape is what you and Laughing Boy can't agree on. So how about this for a little thought experiment? What if it's not about whether the big guy in the purple jacket got on that balloon or not, but rather, under what conditions would Simeon have been fooled with letting him get on board? A turnabout in thinking. Forgive the interruption, just my 2 cents worth. Or your old man's, I guess I should say. Maybe Gregory's techniques can still prove useful in this crazy modern era.
He's right. Under what circumstances could the body double have been allowed on that balloon?
If he had him at gunpoint... Maybe if he had him at gunpoint.
He was a physically imposing man, and what's more, he was carrying a gun.
Could he have been drugged? No, there were no traces of sedatives found during his autopsy. In which case, surely not. Are you about ready to continue, Miles? And don't forget, this is what we're playing for.
This is going to be tricky, but I have to tear his testimony down one statement at a time.
Rebuttal. You know my MO by now, right? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there.
Hold it!
The strings in question being those of Sean and the president's body double in this case? You seem pretty confident of your abilities in that particular arena.
Is that so weird? I'm an animal tamer, remember? And what's the wildest animal of them all? That's right, humans. Didn't take much to get those two dancing to my tune. A little truth here, a little hint of revenge there. Somebody ought to thank me. I did this world a favor.
Mr. Edgeworth, he's scaring me.
Don't let him get under your skin, Kay. You have to stay strong. This man sowed the seeds of another's revenge in order to achieve his own. It's our duty to stop him, and we will succeed in that duty. Why do people do bad things, huh? Don't they realize it'll just come back to bite them in the end? That was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winner.
Hold it!
And so you insist that you had no direct involvement in any of what occurred? What can I say? I don't like to get my hands dirty. Sure do love to watch the action unfold, though. Oh, those idiots desperately trying to kill one another, and they don't even know I lit the fuse. I love it. Ha! You haven't changed. All you did 12 years ago was watch, too. You're talking about the whole SS5 thing? Oh, stop it. Your poor papa. Traveling around for dancers and finding nothing. Shucks. What do they call that again? Oh yeah, rank incompetence. Brr. Rawr! How dare you!
Agent Wong, please!
You don't know the half of it, you damn clown.
Your father may not have closed out the case, not publicly anyway. But it was thanks to his work that we're standing here right now.
Sorry to butt in, Miles, But your little pep talk isn't going to magically solve this case. Now, I know you have your theories. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon?
Hold it!
Which is the only way he could have gone down from the roof of that building.
Alright, let's game this one out, shall we? Suppose I took him down to the ground, like you said. What's wrong with doing that?
Objection!
So you admit it. You did take him out in your balloon.
Objection!
You're really obsessing over this one little detail. This isn't like you, Miles. And how do you think it went down? He held me at gunpoint and said, "Show me the city at night?" That's ridiculous, and you know it is. But did you really fail to think this through?
Objection!
You said yourself you gave him Sean's identity. Surely that was enough to win him over.
Objection!
Win him over? The man who shot at me? No!
Then you must have put him to sleep and carried him away like you did with me.
Objection!
Very well, let us suppose that to be true for a second. Did the autopsy show the presence of sedatives? It's no good. He's just not giving us an opening. Anyway, never mind all that. There are way more interesting things I'd rather talk about. Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head.
Hold it!
Actually, I have some doubts about that. I mean, if the president really was killed by the Torosaurus head...
Objection!
So tell me you're throwing your own pet theory in the trash, Mr. Genius Prosecutor. Aren't you the one who went to all that trouble to prove the man squished by a head hypothesis was true?
Objection!
That may have been my theory at one point, but that was when we thought the head was the only thing that could have crushed him.
Objection!
Why the past tense? That's still your theory, no? It's not like you have anything else right now. The president's body double was crushed under the falling Torosaurus head. Fact. No! There must be something, some other piece of evidence that could link this man to the president's death by crushing. Don't you think it's time you gave up, Miles? I don't like watching you struggle like this. We all know who did it. The model head is practically screaming his name. And who said old Torosaurus' noggin have fallen?
Hold it!
Sure, Sean was the one who caused the head to fall. That much we know.
He even admitted it himself.
Fantastic. So we're all in agreement. Well done, everybody. Case closed. Sean Fenn killed the fake president, and that's that. Somebody get those cops in here.
Objection!
Not so fast. This case is far from closed.
Still scrabbling, huh? Well, alright then. Enlighten us, and be quick about it. If you can't, I want to see the kid in handcuffs. Or are you only a stickler about the law when things are going your way?
Mr. Edgeworth, what do we do? What do we do?
Think, Miles. Think! If Mr. Saint killed the president's body double, it would have had to happen while the two of them were together on the roof. So what would he have had to hand? That's the answer. That will tell us how he was killed.
He's not gonna make this easy, is he?
We need to think about how the president died. It was a very particular cause, to say the least. If we assume he was crushed by the Torosaurus head,
Then the whole thing becomes Sean's fault, right? But what if that wasn't what the president was crushed by?
Is there something else that could have exerted a similar kind of force? It might have been the hot air balloon.
Objection!
It was the hot air balloon, okay. Sean didn't kill the president. The president was crushed by a monster. What? Did you really just say that? You? Oh, I get it. He's the kid who can communicate with giant beasts, right? Did he use his special powers? The only person in communion with monsters was you. Sorry, but you must have me mixed up with somebody else. No monster pals here, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Why the false modesty? You're very close with at least one such creature. In fact, you can make this particular monster do exactly as you command. It was you who killed the president, Mr. Saint, and I can prove it. What? You're talking about the lion balloon? Yes, a quivering mockery of a monster, filled with hot air. But a monster nonetheless. Not entirely unlike Mr. Saint himself. Sorry, you lost me. What are you trying to say exactly?
Objection!
You seem very keen to stick to your story about having manipulated Sean and the president. But no matter how true you may have wanted it to be, that was nothing more than a desperate lie. Even the most skilled animal tamer can't make the dead do his bidding. And the president was dead long before he left that roof, having been killed by your balloon. Oop! I get it. That thing may look lighter than air, But it weighs a few hundred pounds, right?
When the president attacked you from the roof, you had to think quickly in order to protect yourself. The method you chose, landing the balloon right on top of him. You didn't need to let him ride on that balloon, and he didn't need to coerce you into taking him, because what you took away was his dead body.
Objection.
Wait a minute now, Miles. If what you're saying is true, the president would have been killed 2 nights ago. Which would mean the time of death recorded in the autopsy was wrong.
What?
Wow, you're really losing your touch. Look again, it's written right there. Time of death, April 5th at approximately 11 p.m. Clear as day.
Yeah! April 5th! That was yesterday! Which means...
Exactly, it means he died when the Torosaurus head fell right off the roof. Alright, Sean, it's time to be honest with us all. You know it's the right thing to do. You killed your daddy, didn't you? You hated him, didn't you? We get it, who wouldn't? He just left you. What kind of a father would do that?
No, that's not what happened! I already told you, I didn't know who he was until today.
Oh, but you did know, because I told you myself.
Gah! Can my theory really have been so wide off the mark?
I want to thank you once again, Miles. You hounded Winter and LeGuard until their crimes were finally exposed. And by ruining them both, you helped me get my revenge. Gotta love those powers of deduction.
If the time of death matched up, everything else would fit. So, could he possibly have cheated the time of death somehow?
Oh, and what was the other guy's name again? Carmelo Gusto? You even ran him down for me. That was some great work you did there.
Of course, Gusto. The IS-7 incident. He killed Frost and froze his body in order to conceal it. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect.
Bingo! I only wish I could have been there to see his downfall too.
How can you say that? He was your father!
It's so scary. Miss LeGuard just keeps asking and asking about what happened that day. Where are you, Dad? When are you coming to get me? Please, I need you to come take me away. Is it because I broke my promise? Because I didn't show up in time to help you taste your work? He was no father. He left me all on my own. What kind of person would do that? We may have shared the same blood, but that's it. Father? What a joke.
Objection.
You may not want to hear this, Mr. Saint, but you share more than blood. Hate him all you like, but you're more like your father than you know.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Fate can be strange sometimes, but this was no coincidence. You and your father were the same, even in the methods you chose. You deliberately threw off the time of death, just as he did.
That's right, we had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. A refrigeration unit in a depot? I threw off the time of death? And how did I do that exactly?
By hiding the president's body in a very specific place. You hid the body right here. Which one would it be? Not the Coliseum. Is it the depot? Is that where they found Sean?
Take that!
You needed to keep the body cool somewhere. And you also needed somewhere to keep Sean. They knew that the two were connected.
You're talking about the kidnapping again? Why are we bringing that up now?
Because much as you may wish we had forgotten, we know that you kept Sean in a refrigeration unit. The same refrigeration unit in which you kept the president's body. This is your father froze the body he was trying to conceal 18 years ago.
What? You're saying I'm the same as him? The same as the animal who abandoned me?
A sad irony, but an undeniable truth nonetheless.
Objection.
Shut up! I'm nothing like him. I could never be like him. He's nothing to do with me. And we're nothing alike.
Objection.
Sorry, kiddo, but I think it's pretty clear that you and old Gusto have more than a little in common. You even told us you didn't like sweet stuff way back when we first met, right? If that's not a product of your daddy issues, I don't know what is. You don't understand! You may have tried to disown your father, but he lives on in everything you do. You think the same way. And you're every bit as prepared as he was to sacrifice others in order to protect yourself. Your crimes were even exposed in the same manner. You couldn't be more similar. Ah! Or should I say, I don't know anything about a refrigeration unit. And the kidnapping? Nothing to do with me.
Objection!
Nonsense. You did it so you could blackmail Judge Gavelle. We know for a fact you were involved.
Objection!
You're a real danger to be around. You know that, Miles. What aren't you going to accuse me of? But it changes nothing. You still don't have any proof of incitement, of kidnapping, of anything. Oh wait, or are you planning on maybe fabricating some? Taking a leaf out of the old winner playbook? Ugh, never! I would never do that! I can't let myself rise to the provocation. What was the line? No matter what happens, we must find the truth. Something like that? Huh! But only when the truth suits you, huh? That's how the law keeps people down, isn't it? And why I had to get my revenge myself. I got away with it. I got away with it all. LaGuard, winner, and now you. None of you can touch me.
This is bad, Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't there anything we can do?
Everything points to this man being our culprit. But we need evidence, even just one piece. Alright, it's been fun, but it's time we brought this little show to an end, don't you think? Stick around for the main event though, wouldn't you? I'll even let you in for free, if you'll finally admit defeat. Hold it! Who was that? Detective Gumshoe. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Gummy, where have you been?
I've been doing my job, just like Miss Edgeworth asked me to.
And Detective Gumshoe, do you have anything to report?
I had them look into a few things real quick, sir, about the refrigeration unit where the kid was kept. It was registered to the Very Big Circus, just like you said. And there it is, just in the nick of time. Excellent work, Detective. Well, Mr. Saint? Must be some kind of mistake. Why would a circus need a refrigeration unit? A valid question, I suppose. But we're no experts on the circus trade. Perhaps we could ask your department manager for her thoughts on the matter? Well, Miss Berry?
We do hire a unit to store all the food for the animals, but I don't know where it is. I leave all that to Simeon. He's so good at that kind of thing.
Oh, you fool!
Simeon, you're scaring me!
Such a shame! But rushing to find a solution after the fact so often leads to mistakes. You knew that if the body was found in the unit, the suspicion would fall on you. So you panicked and moved it to the grounds of the big building instead. Yeah! But you weren't counting on Sean being found in the unit when you kidnapped him. If only you'd known you were up against a great thief and an even greater detective. Is everything alright? You're looking a little pale. Yeah! Don't think you've won just yet, Miles. You're missing proof for the most important part of your little theory.
I am? Perhaps you could enlighten us?
You don't have any evidence that I crushed the presidential faker with that balloon. And I know you don't, because there isn't any. I'm afraid there is. If Mr. Saint murdered the victim as we think he did, there should be traces of your misdeed on this piece of evidence. Is it maybe the pollen? So maybe we use this? It could be the pollen. Or maybe it's the body. God, getting crushed to death, that is such a dang Danganronpa thing. Ad starts in 1 minute. I'm almost done with the game. But I shouldn't snooze it because I keep doing that and it never works out. Because the game ends up going on for longer than I think it will. So I'll let the ad break play.
Okay, gunshot residue detected on right hand. Flecks of yellow substance found stuck on clothing identified as lion lily pollen.
Okay, I'm gonna try the body.
Take that!
Here, we'll find trace evidence on this, I'm sure of it. Nah, damn, wasn't that. Okay, I'll try the lion lilies again. This time, I mean. Finian killed the fake president by landing on him with a balloon, right? So,
Indeed, that is where we will find our answers. Oh, okay, I have to use the balloon.
Take that!
Okay. Be right back.
Okay, we're back. About to finish this game. Analysis of the balloon basket should... Wait, whoops. I have autoplay turned on. Whoops. Analysis of the balloon basket should turn up the evidence we need.
The balloon again. You already have your bullet hole. What else do you expect to find?
We, expect to find plenty, actually. Isn't that right, Miss Edgeworth? If there's truth to be found, then he'll find it. He's a hero of justice.
He sure is. We'll find something for sure. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of way tighter spots than this one. What they said. We believe in you, Malzarino. And so does your pop. He's looking down on you right now. I know he is.
Just stay calm and see this through to the end, Miles Edgeworth. A perfect victory is only moments away. The president's body double was killed by the balloon. Traces of a certain substance will prove that. And you, Simian Saint, will pay for your crimes at last.
I'm looking forward to this. Time to wrap up the mysteries of past and present once and for all. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, deal the final blow to this unforgivably wicked man.
The last piece of evidence will prove your guilt beyond a doubt. What should we expect to find on the balloons that was used to crush the president? Lion lilies.
Take that!
When Sean found the president's body, he also found a bouquet of lion lilies.
Lion lilies, symbol of the connection between parent and child. A popular flower back in Zhengfa. That's your proof? A bunch of flowers that will be rotting at the dump by now? A bunch of flowers that Sean threw away? So much for your beautiful symbol of parental connection.
That's got nothing to do with any of this. Ignore him, Sean. You threw those flowers away, that much is true. But the bond they represented remains as strong as it ever was. The president held on to them until the last, an act which provided us with our final piece of evidence.
What? What are you talking about?
The flowers Sean disposed of had been squashed flat. He must have been crushed by the balloon. If we examine the basket for traces of lion lily pollen, what do you think we might find?
No. You don't need to do that. You looked over the basket just now. Anyway, if there was pollen stuck to it, you would have seen it. Those flowers are bright yellow.
Objection!
Not all evidence is visible to the naked eye, Mr. Saint.
Huh?
Emma, yeah? I'd like to call on your scientific skills once again, if you don't mind. Leave it to me. Alright, let's take a look at this balloon basket, shall we? Ah! I've got something! Bright yellow pollen, just like you said. If it's from the same flowers, it shouldn't take more than another quick test to prove it.
What?
And there we have it. You murdered the president, and this murder you carried out yourself.
No, how could this?
You crushed the president with that balloon. Then you loaded his body into the basket and took him to the refrigeration unit.
But why? Why go to the trouble of removing the body?
Because he knew another incident was scheduled to occur that same evening. Oh, Rosie Ringer's murder! Exactly. If he had left the body there, it would have interfered with his other plans.
I get it. And he couldn't leave the body in the refrigeration unit for too long either, right?
Indeed not. So while returning to the big building to drop the body off again the following night, he must have observed the fire Sean caused and the Torosaurus head falling as a result. That's what gave you the idea, wasn't it? To frame Sean for the murder?
Nyarg! You made it seem as if the falling head was what killed him so that my son would take the blame. Despicable coward.
In order to achieve your aim, you lowered the president's body from the balloon to the lot below. And while he was dangling from the rope you used, he was caught on Sean's rehearsal tape. No, how did you see through it all? How? You manipulated people, and you manipulated this cage just as you manipulate animals on the stage. You thought you were all powerful, but your reign is at an end. The animals look like they're mad with you, Simeon. Even Money and Asia. We thought you were their friends, but you're not. They're sad and mad all at the same time.
Stop it! Stop looking at me like that!
Perhaps they will, when you finally stop clowning around. You're not cut out for comedy. Your tale is destined to end with a whimper.
Sniffle, get away from me! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Cat, where are you? I'm so scared. I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong, nothing. I'm not the bad one, they are. Why, Bronco? Why did you stop me from going to see my dad? If only none of them did what they did, I wouldn't have had to. I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anybody. I was all alone, with nobody to help me. But that man, he helped me. Candace was the only one who ever helped me. So what if I used people? I had to. Is that so wrong? No, leave me alone! Leave me alone! Ow! That hurts! Stop it! You, no! Whoa! Ay-ya! No! No! I'm being attacked by the animals! Somebody stop them! It seems the game is up at last. Oh, it's Chili the Killer. The killer! Mr. Edgeworth, may I be the first to congratulate you. You have unmasked the person behind this entire sorry affair. Now I am free to... Kill him? No! Guns are so clumsy, don't you find? I don't have a gun. Please, not only are you carrying one, you are just about to draw it. He must have stolen it from the president after murdering him. This gentleman betrayed a bond of trust. He knew the so-called president was an imposter, and yet he employed me to kill him nonetheless. There was nothing more dangerous for an assassin than to be lied about the nature of one's target. If one does not know what cards one's opponent is holding, one can be very unpleasantly surprised. Yonk! But that was not your true crime. No, thinking you could deceive me, manipulate me, that is the crime for which you are about to pay. No! Somebody stop the killer! Candace! You!
It's been a while, the killer.
Step aside, Candace. That man is my target.
I would politely ask that you call off this particular job. He'll pay for his crimes, but in prison, not at the end of your blade.
Two assassins face off. And if I refuse?
Let us just say that I might not take the loss of the one life that I ever saved too well.
You save a life? Bodhidharma, Candace. The blind butcher himself? Have any insects for me? Nope, no insects here.
Preposterous, I know. But yes, I, who have taken so many lives, once chose to preserve one, that of an innocent young pup. And he, in his turn, saved mine. Something of a bond formed between us. Laugh all you like, I know I would. But I would respectfully request that you spare him. As one professional to another, I ask that you let this particular target live.
Very well. The boy must mean a lot to you. Thank you. Sorry, no insects here, just a bug.
Thank you, I am in your debt.
You need not thank me. I simply see little point in the two of us killing one another. Now then, I bid you all good day. He was out like a bullet. No, get back here!
You have my thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. This young pup needed to be shown the error of his ways, and you have done just that. Alright, I suppose we'd better be getting back. Our ironclad enclosure awaits. Doesn't it, Helmut?
Yes, it does.
Oh, hello. You killed my dad, didn't you, old man? I will not lie. I did. My victims deserve to be remembered at the very least. But I sense a great hatred for me from you. Warned pup, in that case.
Erk! Sean, no!
You must not falter, little one. Here, you may use my knife. Take it, and cut my throat. One sure slice is all it takes. I was growing rather tired of carving my little statues anyway.
I want revenge. I want it so badly.
Sean, don't do it!
Please, Sean. I beg of you.
At least, I did until just now. I would have done anything to make you pay, no matter how long it took.
Oh, but you should make those who have wronged you pay. It'll make you feel so good. Trust me. All the pain, all the suffering, it all goes away. It drowns it all out. Numbs it.
Maybe it does. In listening to you, I thought maybe that's what I wanted. Sean? But it's not just about me. Say I get my revenge. How does that help anybody else? If I become a murderer, my mom suffers 10 times more than I ever would. And so would all the people I work with. They're counting on me, and they worry about me. Thoughtful words indeed, little one. Yeah, well I get it now. I won't ever forgive you, but I shouldn't be the one who gets to punish you. That's what these guys are for. My mom, the prosecutor, people like that.
Dawn.
Wow, you may be young, Sean, but you're way wiser than I'll ever be.
You could at least consider trying to better yourself, Kay.
Very well, then I suppose we'll be on our way. With me, young pup.
On our way? To where?
Where else? To the prison. Our home.
Our home?
And with that, the case came to an end. A case that had dragged so many people into its orbit. But as for me, there was one last thing I had to do. April 8th, 2:54 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Chamber. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth.
What's the big idea, big guy? Wanna tell us what we're doing here? Mr. Edgeworth. Your request has been processed and approved. Huh? Your what now?
I've asked for my prosecutor's badge to be reinstated.
Your badge. What is the meaning of this?
I am returning it. From this day forth, I'm a prosecutor no longer. I still can't believe you did that for me. A certain man once said that to be an attorney is to be a defendant's most trusted ally, and that by believing in your client, the truth will make itself known. That man's image has been forever burned into my memory.
Are we talking about Phoenix?
As strongly as the vision of my father fighting in the courtroom.
Good old Gregory.
But that's his and my father's path. Mine lies elsewhere. Mr. Edgeworth! My path is that of the prosecutor. It always was.
Welp, then I guess that's that.
I'm sorry.
No, I dig it. And besides, I can tell by that look in your eye that your mind's made up.
It is.
Alright then. Looks like our work together is diddly done. Just don't come crying to old Eddie if you change your mind. This club's now closed to new members.
I understand.
Hey, Milester. Can you tell me why at least? How come you're so dead set on popping the old prosecutor's hat back on?
You once asked me something, Fender.
Are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you, one only you can answer.
I've been thinking about that question ever since. About how I mean to live my life. And now that this case is over, I think I finally know the answer. I'm going to help people as a prosecutor.
But can't you also do that as an attorney?
Look at it this way. Simeon Singh was also a victim of sorts. He lost his only parents all those years ago, and with him his ability to believe in a just world. I know how that feels. To lose somebody so important to you, to lose faith in everything. To doubt everything and be utterly alone, to fight and fight and fight. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty, so I make that my policy. But I was lucky. Somebody was kind enough to save me from myself.
They're going out of their way not to show Phoenix. But he's always there, just out of sight.
Mr. Saint had nobody. He had no faith in the law. He felt that seeking revenge himself was the only option. But I doubt even you imagined the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police.
No, 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 no! I sure didn't! As long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand! He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. McWard almost got away with it again.
I want to help people like him.
And how do you plan to do that?
If he had been able to rely upon the law, none of this would have happened.
Chairman Winter made a mockery of justice, and in doing so, drove Mr. Sin away from seeking it. The law is only as good as its practitioners. It can be a shield that keeps the people safe from harm, or a sword wielded to wound them. Just one among many of the law's great contradictions. You can say that again. Yup, it's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect.
But one cannot solve such contradictions in the law without engaging with it. I don't think an attorney could have saved Mr. Saint. But a prosecutor? A custodian of the law? I think perhaps they could have. I plan to take up my badge again and confront those contradictions at every turn.
Very Milesarino. I like it. You know it won't be easy breezy though, right? Fighting the law itself is lawyering on hard mode.
I understand that, but somebody has to do it.
Oh, I don't doubt that. And if it has to be anybody, it should be you. Laws are like people, I guess. They both gotta grow and change. Adapt or perish, am I right? You're going to smash this, I just know it. After all, you're Gregory's boy through and through. And if there's one thing that man did not know how to do, it's give up. Eyes on the prize and straight on till sunset, that was his motto. You know what? I saw that same determination on your face the second you mentioned taking a prosecutor ring again. You know what's really grown and changed? You'd to be a big, great cheese ball, but you. I only wish your dad was here to see it. He'd be proud as all get out.
Ender, thank you.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, if you're ready to begin, we can get the ceremony underway.
Please.
By the power vested in me by the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, I, Verity Gavel, do hereby, in the sight of the Almighty Goddess, reinstate Miles Edgeworth as a servant of the law.
Alright, you're prosecutor again.
Best news I've heard all week, sir. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, I gotta scoot. Your pops is going to want to know that his kid just signed up for the opposition a second time.
Thank you again, Fender, for everything.
Don't thank me yet. The next time you see me could be across a courtroom. And this space is a whole lot less roguishly charming when it's not on your side of the aisle.
I would relish the opportunity to face an attorney trained by my father. I hope that day comes very soon.
Alrighty, send her out. Welcome back into the fold, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Thank you, Judge Gavel. I owe you more than I can say.
You do.
You strove to right the wrongs of the committee from the inside. That must have been a lonely battle indeed.
Not at all. I was never truly alone.
That's right! You had the goddess of justice on your side. Thank you for teaching me that it's possible to fight in such a way. The contradictions within the committee are like those within the legal system itself. If we aren't able to overcome them, the real truth will forever evade us. I have you to thank for teaching me that, and for setting me on this path. I hereby swear to confront the contradictions that afflict the law, and to overcome them.
And I thank you for your commitment to the cause, as does the Almighty Goddess. I truly believe that such efforts are necessary in order for the law to grow and improve.
I will look forward to seeing you in the courtroom again soon.
As will I. You did not see the best of me when I last oversaw a trial. The next time will be different. I will show you what it means to serve justice with true impartiality.
Judge Gavel, I don't mean to call your motivation into question.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
But to my mind, the ideal judge is not wholly impartial. The ideal judge is human. Even in the courtroom, they laugh, they cry, they rage, they smile. And then when all is said and done, they pass down a judgment based in that very humanity. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but perfection isn't always the loftiest of ideals, and it's certainly not the only thing to strive for. Forgive me, this is my opinion, nothing more.
You are right, of course. There are other ways. I thank you for sharing your insights. Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against term and winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess.
Of course! Sean!
This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near me gave me hope. No matter how hard things get, no matter how formidable one's opponent, when we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead. Mistakes have been made, but we must fix them, for Sean's sake more than anyone's.
Like the mistakes made in the incident in which his father died.
So you see, there is something more important even to me than the words of the goddess. Though it may anger her to hear me say such things.
So that was your secret weapon all along, the strength of your bond with your son.
Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I should not strive for an unachievable perfection, but I must grow. As a servant of the law, and as a mother. That I believe above all else.
I see. It seems that we both have plenty still to learn.
Indeed, we are neither of us perfect yet. Let us continue along our chosen paths, and continue to grow as we tread them, until we meet again. I will look forward to that day. May the goddess watch over you as you embark upon the next step of your journey.
I lost the title of prosecutor, but now I have regained it, and in doing so I have seen a new way forward, a new path for justice, and I am determined to follow that path until it finally leads me to the truth. No matter how hard it might be, no matter what obstacles might arise, woe betide anybody who stands in my way, whoever they may be, whatever they may say, I will lift up my voice and shout,
Objection!
God, it went by so fast. And that's it for this game! So, Chief, what kind of scoop we looking to land ourselves next, huh? Did I teach you nothing, knucklehead? We're journalists, dang it. Leads are our stock and trade, our bread and butter. You don't just hand that stuff over, not even to your dang apprentice. Sorry, Chief. Guess I still got a whole bunch to learn, huh? Well, alright then. Better go track down some leads my own self. That's the spirit. You go get 'em, champ. Before you mosey on down the way, mind, hearing what kind of leads them there leads might be? Huh? But, Chief, you... Come on now, I'm pretty much your editor, ain't I? Can't hold out on the boss. Whew, come on, Chief, that's cold.
We've still got all the dialogue to read, as fast as possible.
Oh, Shelly the Killer was brought in by the police.
My arm wound has yet to fully heal, even now. The bodyguard who inflicted it was a skillful practitioner indeed. I shan't be forgetting him in a hurry. But never mind that now. Time to return to the life of a simple ice cream seller. Although I have been thinking that perhaps crepes would be more my speed. Well, no rush. I'm sure there'll be enough time to ponder the matter before my next job comes in.
Sure, you might knock me on my butt, wise guy, but I ain't out for the count just yet. I'll be keeping my guard up and looking for an opening. Well, get out of this stump yet. Ain't that right, Teddy? The second the bell rings for the next round of escape shenanigans, we'll come out swinging. Till then, it's training, and more training.
You want to know if I'm still planning on becoming an animal stylist? Sure, I'm still studying every single day. Still up to my elbows in mud. But I guess it suits me better than being a newspaper salesman. I plan to make it my new career when I finally get out of here. What's that? Is my release a few more years away? Now because I helped Ward and LeGuard? Yeah! Why do you think I'm being so nice to these stupid freaking animals? I don't care about the freaking license, I just want to get out of here! Why me? I am trying my best to read all this dialogue as fast as possible.
Regina. I was so shocked when I learned what Simeon had been up to this whole time. I trusted him. I was his boss. Still, can't sit around being sad forever, I guess. The show must go on. We can't let the magic department and the ventriloquy department get the better of us. We'll light up that stage and blow away the competition and all those awful memories with it. I must have gotten soft in my old age, haven't I? Boy. Yes, I have. 18 years ago, I saved a life, and the troublesome child is still keeping me busy to this day. And now here we are, back in a cage. Well, we'll have company soon, at least, won't we, boy? Yes, our friend the pup. Things certainly won't be dull with him around. No, they won't. What dessert shall we eat? Chocolate cake, sticky and sweet. Oh, so soft, fluffy and light. You'll be dreaming of it tonight. I'll always be waiting for you, Judy. And I'll come visit you every day, just like you and Eddie did when I was in here. We have so much to thank him and Mr. Edgeworth for. Most of all, the fact that I get to eat your delicious desserts again, Samson. And not just you. They gave me permission to keep providing sweet treats to everyone here. I guess spreading the gospel of candy making for all these years is finally paying off. Oh, how sweet. Giving all those people in prison desserts. Oh, hello, sweeties. Fancy seeing you here. I owe you a great big thank you, you know. And dear old Greggy Peg like too, of course. After all, it's thanks to all of you that I can eat Sammy Poople sweets again. I'm even thinking of making a lovely medicine out of them. I'm going to call it Snacker's Delight. It makes your stomach so small you can only eat snacks. So you can get skinny as a tent peg and love every minute. I'm going to make a fortune. That's evil. Out of all the characters, she's up to something evil. Man, I've met so many beautiful people now and drawn so many beautiful sketches. Lulu isn't the biggest fan of my new work, though. He took one look at my sketchbook and hit me over the head with it. Bam! Just like this! And, then she left. Guess that's one less beautiful person in my life now. So I've got a big decision ahead of me. Do I follow my art or follow my heart? By heart, I mean new girlfriend. You got that right? He's always got a new girlfriend lined up. Badster, the Badinator. Seriously though, thanks for the assist today, good buddy. Huh. You want me to talk about IS-7? I'll talk all day. Sounds like that Edgeworth kid is doing good work. Yeah, Maldorino chose a different path from his old man in the end. A path that means we can't work together, but that won't stop me looking in on him from time to time. You've come pretty far yourself. Holy macaroni, a compliment from Big Bad Detective Bad? Am I dreaming? Well, flattery will get you everywhere, old pal. You ever need a little fender magic, just say the word. I'm surprised he's just walking around, considering he's a Takarasu. Looks like they'll be letting me off a little easier than I thought for what I did. I guess because I told them I was kind of forced to do it. Ouch! Ain't no such thing as easy when it comes to crime, dang fool child. Sorry, Grandma. I still feel awful about it, of course. But I'm just so glad I get to stay out here with you. What's that? You think we should be getting back to work? I guess you're right. Can't keep the dead waiting. Science saves the day again, huh? Good thing I happen to be around, right? Even if I do have to jump right back on a plane again and go back to Europe. All this flying around is gonna get tiring. Still, it's all a part of becoming a first-class forensic investigator. Guess I'd better get going. Oh, but if you ever need me, just say the word, okay? I'll come running. You know I will.
There's so many characters in this game. And I had to give them all unique voices. It was tough. The greater one's father, the greater the pressure to be great. But Eustace Winner, was it? He has chosen his own path now, and he will be tested. Just as I was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live as a prosecutor over how his own father lived. That, too, is a valid answer to the question we've all had to wrestle with. My father hid a secret, or a burden, I could only have imagined. I thought only my family name. He thought of so much more. He thought of our entire nation. I mean to carry on that legacy, to fulfill his last great wish. Even if our president was an imposter. Even if the real president is long dead. Even if it takes all my effort and all my men's efforts. Jingfa will rise again. I can't wait for you to see it.
I gave up on the winner thing. Told everybody to stop calling me that. Because I didn't win. My dad did it all for me. I'm going to start again from scratch. I won't let what he did ruin everything. And pretty soon I'll be better than him and better than Edward, so watch out! Now, first order of business, get a new nickname.
They made me like Eustace in the end.
Well,
it was eventful to say the least, but we got it done, and the movie's going down great.
I think the murder stories in the gossip magazines might have helped. Big Bad Man emerges from Big Bad Bull. Reveal true face of monster behind Jingfa President murder plot. Huh? Wait, this is a picture of you, Mr. Powers.
What? But why?
Hey, it's not so bad. After all, it'll make people come and see the movie, right?
Yeah, I guess... Okay, I thought he was gonna say a little more after, I guess. I very much enjoyed the movie, Sean.
It's nothing. It wasn't even a big part.
The boy who befriended both Torosaurus and Gordy, they don't come any bigger than that. And it was a role you were born to play.
You think? Well, it would be cool to be in the sequel, I guess. And I kind of like acting. Hey, can we pick something up before we head back? I wanted to get some lion lilies for my dad.
Of course, and I will buy some too, for Amelie.
Is that it?
Okay, one final scene.
April 8th, 4:17 p.m. Prosecutor's Building. High Prosecutor's Offices.
Phew, it's been a busy few days, huh, sir?
Unbelievably so. How did so many important cases all come along at once? There's never a dull moment when I'm around. Guess I'm just lucky that way.
Wait, so all that stuff happened because of you?
No, Gummy! How could you say that? And yet, I don't think the good detective is entirely wrong. Well, okay, what now? Will you be returning to your thieving practice? Yeah, good question.
What? You're not sure?
How can I put this? I guess I feel like I've been trying to follow in my father's footsteps this whole time, you know? Trying to become a great thief, just like he was. The Yatakarasu. Or a Yatakarasu, at least. But watching how this all panned out for you, Mr. Edgeworth, It got me thinking that maybe I need to get out from under his shadow and live my own life too. Just like how you decided not to do the whole attorney thing. It's time to make our own fate. She's right. After all, nothing thrives in the shade. I'm going to be my own hero. That sounds like an admirable plan indeed. I won't be giving up the name though. Can't not be Takarasu, right?
Whatever name you pick, you'll always be Kei to us. Okay, and you'll always be a hero.
Aw, thanks, Gummy. You'll always be my Gummy, too.
You bet I will, and I'll be doing my detective thing just as hard as always. So I'll be counting on you, sir.
Yes, and I'll be counting on you too, Detective. Just as I've been counting on you these last few days. You've helped us out too many times to mention. I think your next salary review may come as a pleasant surprise.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait, you mean...
What's the matter? I'm saying I'll see to it that you get paid a little more, Detective.
You will? This is unbelievable, sir.
No, wait! Go, Gummy!
It's like a dream come true. I can finally leave the instant noodle life behind.
But don't think I'll be letting you rest on your laurels. Your work won't be getting any easier. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I'll give you everything I got. Just you wait and see.
Fender and Judge Gavelle set me on a new path in life. A path on which I will face down every contradiction that the law has to present. A path at whose end lies the ultimate truth. But can I really do this? I'll need to give it some serious thought. It certainly won't be easy. Nonetheless,
Mr. Edgeworth, there was another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess.
Of course! Sean!
This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near gave me hope. When we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead.
So that was your secret weapon all along. The strength of your bonds with your son. The strength of my bonds. Oh! I almost forgot!
What? What is it?
I was trying to find other members for my Takarasu team, right?
I do vaguely remember something about that.
I never even found a single one. We were going to be unstoppable in our quest to steal the truth. So much for that little pipe dream.
You're kidding, right? You already have a team. A team that can solve any case the world cares to throw at it.
Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. The prosecutor, the detective, and the great thief. Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth, put it in handcuffs, and steal it once and for all. I can't help feeling a little sorry for the truth in that case.
As long as the three of us stick together, we got nothing to fear. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Indeed, nothing at all. My father followed his own path, right to the end. And now I follow a path of my own making too. But not alone. I have some colorful companions to help me. As long as they're beside me, I won't lose my way. It's a new path, and a new me. And I'll be walking it as a prosecutor, not an attorney. My father's path and mine are different. But they're not as separate as they may seem. Though the routes differ, the destination is the same. Because, of course, both ends at the truth.
I think that's the end.
The end. Damn. Game ends. That means I'll be replacing this game on Friday with the 100 line, which I'm excited to do. I really wanted to play that game. Any excuse to play a game by Kodaka and Uchikoshi. That's his name, right? I didn't just pull that out of my ass. But any excuse to play a game with those two at the center, I'll take. Yeah, my throat is dry. How long have I been streaming?
nearly 5 hours. Let us raid Sakyo. He's doing art. Some art time. And with Eon. Goodbye, everybody. See y'all tomorrow for stenography practice.